Good afternoon again. I guess I would entitle this testimony as hearing and doing what you hear the Lord say. So my wife and I are in the living room having a very nice discussion. And out of nowhere, she says, "What are we going to do?" So those words are kind of code words that always meant the same thing. It always was about what are we going to do about our finances. Over the period of our marriage, we've had financial issues off and on, challenges, and sometimes seemingly surmountable or insurmountable. And she would ask about our finances with that phrase. What are we going to do? And the way it would go is she'd ask me, I'd give her my latest great plan for getting out of financial problems, and she'd proceed to tell me why that wasn't going to work. Or basically just take the approach that, the previous 10 plans really didn't work, so why would I believe this one? That never ended well. I can't remember ever having a conversation with her about finances that I convinced her we were going to be okay. I'd always get offended, conversation would deteriorate, and we'd both walk away mad. So, at church, we were spending a lot of time on hearing the Lord. And especially on the verse where Jesus says, I don't do anything that I don't see my Father do, and I don't say anything that I don't hear my Father say. Well, that's a pretty tall order. I don't know anybody who does that 24/7. And I'm not sure why, because it's definitely worked, and it's always a blessing, but for some reason we have this theory that we know. And the reality is we don't know. His ways are not our ways, and you're always better off, to seek the Lord for what to say and what to do. But wasn't our habit. Wasn't our habit for this kind of discussion. So when she asked me, what are we going to do, in the light of the study that we've been doing in church, I thought, okay, Lord, we'll test this out. What should I say? And he said, well, what would I say if you were to ask me that question? And I said, well, you'd say, we're going to trust in you. And he said, well, that's what you say. And so without thinking much, because if I'd have thought much, I would have never said it, I just blurted out. I said, we're just going to have to trust in the Lord. And as I heard those words come out of my mouth, I thought, she is going to jump all over me about being sacrilegious or sanctimonious or just religious in general and copping out. Say, we're going to blame it on God. And so I'm thinking here I might have to duck. And I'm just waiting. And the next thing she said was on a totally, completely different subject. And I'm thinking to myself, we've been through argument after argument after argument over a period of at least 10 years that all could have been avoided if I just would have asked the Lord what to say and to say that. I don't know how else to explain it except that obviously it was a blessing, and obviously it works. It works. So give it a try. Two things I want to leave you with. God loves you more than you'll know on this side of heaven. You just can't imagine how much it is. And secondly, He has so much more for us. Every spare minute, we need to be seeking Him for more and more of Him, more of His revelation. And life will be glorious. God bless.